Hey guys, it's Porter.
And Tim, and we're here to do the Q&A for Legends of the Gallowglass.
So we had some people asking questions on our social media platforms, so we decided we were going to make a Q&A. So the first question is, how are you guys releasing the series? Would you like to answer that?
Sure thing, Porter. Okay, so we're going to be releasing the episodes every Friday, starting December 13th, and from there we'll release an episode every week.
There are 4 episodes, in case you were wondering. What was your creative process?
So the creative process actually started way back about 2 years ago when Porter and I started writing this book. And basically, it's a fantasy book that obviously we stopped writing because with the film club and everything. It set up this whole new fantasy world, which is what we actually based this series off of. We took the book series, and maybe we'll continue it later, and we just kind of said, okay, let's go about 100 or so years into the future. Where would the people in this world be? We started writing about this, and we began storyboarding the actual series, Legends of the Gallowglass, in around May, and then we wrote actual scripts and shot lists over the summer, and then we began filming over the summer, and then we finished filming about last week. Okay, so the next question is, what is the political climate of this fantasy world that we've created?
Okay, so as we said, the film takes place about 100 years after the book, and in the book, there is a king. And this is like a golden age, right? So everything's going well, they're all happy, and the advisors to the king are called the Council of Kalmar. So the king is losing power, doesn't have control over the people. It's kind of like a battle of power without knowing who the players are,
We based this off of a medieval kingdom in Ireland around the Dark Ages time. So we did the math, we figured out some population numbers. This place is called Scrofar, which in Gaelic roughly translates to Kingdom of the Boar, and the boar is one of the symbols of the show. Yeah, so we have this medieval kingdom called Scrofar, and it's led by a king and his council. So that's kind of the political climate that we're looking at in the show.
What was the budget for this film?
We started raising money for this show because we needed money to buy costumes, props, equipment, set, all that kinds of stuff. So we started raising money in around May of this past year, same time we started kind of planning this show. And so we raised, with GoFundMe, we raised about $1,200, which we've spent on costumes, props, equipment.
Luckily, we were able to borrow many costumes from a local theater program called Pied Piper, and we're thankful for them. But most of it was costumes and set and things that you have to have for a medieval time period film.
What was the best part about filming this series? Legends of the Gallowglass.
The best part for me was traveling to Montana.
That's true.
Yeah. So a lot of the B-roll that we used in Legends of the Gallowglass is taken from me on my vacation, traveling across the country from New York up through Indiana and all the way up to Colorado and Montana through North Dakota, all these states. And just along the way, we just stopped, took out the camera, got out of the car, started filming just to get awesome B-roll that would fit into different parts of the film. And I think that being able to do that yourself really adds like a quality that you can't get from using stock footage or things that you haven't done. When you're filming it, you get a feel for where you want it to be in the film, or where it's going to work best, or how you want to pan, how you want to tilt, things like that.
Personally, my favorite part of filming would have to be, there's 2 things. One, Porter and I were actually actors as well as the directors. There's a bit of a clash in your roles. I much enjoy being the director more. I love to be behind the camera. I love to really have, watch my vision come to life and direct the actors exactly how I need them to do. But also being an actor, when you're the director, is definitely good because at least you know that you're trying to do exactly what you set out to do. As for a specific part, I definitely say my favorite part is always the fight scenes. Porter and I, we've been, making our little fight scene films since 5th grade. So obviously doing this has been like a dream come to life, being able to do a semi-large budget, full series, medieval film in which we can do fight scenes and stuff like that. So I think definitely that is one of my favorite parts. Another question that we got is somebody asked, they said they saw something about us actually making our own props, so they wanted to hear exactly what that meant.
We've made some of our own props. So obviously we didn't make our own candles or, jewelry. Or
We made our own castle. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
We made the castle.
From the ground up. Yeah, it was all ours. We made our individual armors. We made our spears. We made some scrolls and alchemy equipment, and we put together our sets using just things that we had lying around.
A lot of random things we had lying around.
Yeah, but the main thing that we made was our leather armor.
Oh boy. We actually did a couple different approaches for our leather armor.
I did it a different way than him.
So I wanted to do my armor. I wanted to reflect kind of like a Greco-Roman armor. So I wanted to do a simple breastplate and a backplate suspended by strings. It was a simple but time-consuming process of cutting out the leather, soaking it, hardening it, dyeing it, putting resin on, and then I also actually put in. If you look at some images, still images that we've had from behind the scenes, you can see some inscriptions on my armor. It's actually ancient Gaelic symbols. The inscription meant something along the lines of like warrior and strength or something like that. And that's something that my character is portrayed as like the warrior, the one who is the strong and the fighter.
I went for a slightly different approach. Instead of focusing on a past time period, I kind of just wanted to do like a fantastical armor that you'd see in Lord of the Rings or King Arthur, things that like look cool and may not have functionality, but I did test that and it does have functionality. So I went with a scaled approach. So that entailed making a template out of cardstock, drawing that onto the leather sheet, cutting that out, hole punching that, and then dyeing it and hardening it and letting that dry, and then cutting them out and tying them together with string.
And your armor does reflect your character, as it's more of like a stealthier armor. It's not like the strong breastplate. It's more of like the stealthy, cunning.
It is made to move around more
under the cloak
and
armor.
have more maneuverability. Yeah, exactly. And for our last question is, what are the funniest moments on set?
One moment that comes to mind, at least, was we were shooting a scene in our castle setting with one of our actors, Nick Karachi. He has trouble saying one of the characters' names, like a lot of trouble. So just the times in which we were trying to, about 15 takes of him attempting to say that one character's name.
That was more than 15.
Yeah. That's usually funny until it gets frustrating.
Until it gets past 15.
And then it gets sad and makes you want to cry.
So originally, the scene was with us sitting around a fire, but we were unable to make a fire for safety reasons, and since it was pitch black out, you couldn't see us whatsoever. And we were supposed to be eating on something, like we just made dinner.
Oh god. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and clearly
we didn't have food.
We didn't have food, and you couldn't see what we were eating, so we just started picking up sticks and pretending we were eating sticks. And
we ate the sticks a little.
Yeah, we did. I mean, not that anyone else would know about that, but
we scrapped that scene.
Yeah, that's no longer in it.
So yeah, I forgot. That was a pretty funny moment. Okay, so that was all the questions that you guys had for us. This series has definitely been our favorite project to do ever, and we're really proud of how it's come out. If you haven't already, check out the trailer that is posted today for Legends of the Gallowglass. Stay posted because episode 1 is coming out next Friday.
December 13th. Don't miss it.